It may be the ultimate man against beast competition. 150-pound cowboys riding 2,000-pound bulls. The P.B.R. Professional Bull Rider starts its 20th season tonight at Madison Square Garden here in New York City. Here with us are P.B.R. CEO Jim Hayworth and P.B.R. President Ty Murray, a 9-time world champion bull rider. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being here. Good morning. Ty, we just mentioned you're from Stephenville, Texas?
That's right.
Which is where we saw the snow just a little while ago. But you, when you hear that the gate open and the bulls start bucking, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
Well, you got to think that, you know, the guys that make it to this level, they've done this thousands and thousands of times, and they train for this, so it's quite different what goes through their mind and say what would go through your mind.
I know what would go through mine. But.
You know, bull riding in a nutshell is you constantly have to put your body into a position that counteracts what the bull is doing to try to get you off of his back, and, you know, you're having to do it in really adverse conditions. But, you know, very scary, very violent, fast, strong. You know, you've never experienced anything like it, and that's for me in sport. That's where bull riding takes it to a whole nother level, because all sport has the pressure of winning and losing. This sport has the pressure of living and dying.
So, Ty, how did you get into bull riding?
Well, I'm a fourth-generation cowboy, so I was pretty much born into it, and you know, it was all I was ever around. I started getting on calves when I was 2-3 years old, and before I could, further back than I can even remember, this is always what I wanted to do.
Wow. Well, I know you are married to Jewel. A lot of people know who Jewel is, of course. You're famous, and she's famous too. But would you let bull riding is so dangerous. Would you let your own children do it?
You know, I got a son, my first son, he's 18 months old, and you know, it's the last thing that I want him to do, but you know, that's not my choice. That'll be his choice, and you know, my job is to be a good parent and support him. But yeah, on the list of things I hope my son does, that's at the very bottom.
Interesting, interesting. So Jim, I grew up in Texas, so I know a lot about bull riding, and I know you can go to a dance hall in Texas and you can go dance, and then there's bull riding in the middle of the dance hall and that kind of stuff. So I know. But as a sport, how has it grown as a sport?
Well, you know, if you look at, 20 years ago, this is actually our anniversary this year that we're celebrating. Ty, when you guys started and founded this, I don't know that you really would have thought that we would have been in over 350 million households worldwide in 5 different countries. And we're growing very rapidly. We're excited this year with our CBS and CBS Sports Network broadcast, and we think we're really going to continue to reach out to new fans and grow our fan base for the future.
I noticed that this rider we're looking at is wearing a helmet. I mean, are helmets mandatory now?
Helmets are not mandatory. Really, if you look at the safety of the sport, is very important for us. We didn't have a certified helmet until like the last 7 months.
Wow.
And you'll see that kind of change as we go through these next few years. We're going to look at grandfathering a helmet clause in there, because we do think that's very important for our riders. But most of that will be grandfathered into new riders that are coming in. They're independent contractors, as Ty said. They understand the danger of the sport, and they understand what they're against, and we want to make sure we do everything we can to protect them.
Ty, do you wear a helmet?
Well, I haven't rode in 11 years.
Okay.
And so looking back at pictures of me is like looking back at football players who used to wear leather helmets. I'm an old timer, but you know, I think I would definitely wear a helmet. I wore a vest, a protective vest. I wore every piece of equipment that I thought would help me. Growing up without a helmet, it always felt like a hindrance to me, my equilibrium and stuff like that, but they've made a lot of advancements in the helmets now.
You know, the other thing that I think is key with this, we also do a great job of testing. We have technology, and we have a Dr. Tandy Freeman that travels with our riders. He does a great job at making sure he assesses these riders, and it's important for the safety for us as well.
Talking about safety, you guys are cowboys and you're professionals, but some people have raised questions about whether the treatment of the bulls is humane. Do you want to address that?
Absolutely. You know, Ty, we've talked about this several times, but you know, our bulls are like rock stars. It's definitely, when you think about the thoroughbred industry, these bulls are animals that are trained, and they're breeding the lineage.
What kind of bulls are they?
A lot of times with different crosses that you'll see.
They're crossbred. The thing of it is, to find bulls that can buck at this level is the equivalent to finding a horse that can run at the Breeders' Cup level, and they're worth a lot of money. And you know, for guys to come across bulls that could be a world champion caliber bull or make the P.B.R. finals, that's a once-in-a-lifetime deal for a lot of people.
All right. Well, Ty Murray and Jim Hayworth, great to see both of you. Nice to have some Cowboys on set here. Nice to see you guys.
The 2013 Madison Square Garden Monster Energy Invitational begins tonight. You can watch the second round action tomorrow night at 10 Eastern Time on the CBS Sports Network, and the championship round on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.